Sure. When I started, I came over and I started in our knock department, and I was also taking care of our internal systems as well. And quickly started to realize that we had a lot of data and a lot of internal needs. We also had a lot of client needs. And the company started to realize that we needed somebody focusing on the internal aspects. And I just kind of gravitated towards it. We have a lot of data, a lot of information. We move very quickly. We like to joke that we move in dog years. What we do in a month is what some companies do in 3 or 4 months. We move very fast. So the need to get the data to the right people is very important. We want to be able to look back and see how we did, how we're performing, what we've done, and capture information. And we want to be able to do something that's automated. When I started, we're 40 people, and now we're close to 60, but we've almost doubled our growth business-wise. So we've really been able to use automation to do a lot of that. And a lot of that comes through smart reporting, making great decisions, data analysis to help us determine the right directions and the right avenues to go. When I came in, we wanted to grow. We wanted to make sure we were doing things right. We were, be sure was a word I heard a lot. We're pretty sure we're doing things right. We think we're doing this. We think we're doing that. We'd like to do this. But all those things that we wanted to do goal-wise took a long time to verify, if that's a good way to describe it. Now, we were looking for solutions. How can we go do this? How do we go verify we're doing the right things? How do we know that those items that we want to do right are done right? How are we capturing the right information? Are we doing this? When we do an audit, does it take all day to do something? Can we do it faster? And so that was one of the things that we had in the beginning. We want to make sure we're doing things right. We want to deliver excellent service to our customers. We want to make sure that we're efficient and we're accurate. And so that was one of our goals that we were looking for. And we had worked with one of our vendors, and they had mentioned MSPbots. And we did a demo and took a look and said, wow, this looks like, this looks like what we need. We had to think about it for a second, and it's like, why aren't we doing this? And as we started doing it and using it, we said, okay, now we started verifying everything that we've been doing. We're finding some things that we thought we were doing, but maybe weren't, and we're able to get those corrected, all through great reporting, widgets, dashboards, bots, apps. All those little things made a big difference in what we were doing. And the nice part is, with a lot of these, you can set it and it just automatically grows with you. And that's our goal. We want something that scales and just grows with us. We're not having to go maintain it because we set it up right, and your solutions offer that. They grow with you. So I think that kind of explains where we're going, or what we are trying to do. We're trying to deliver something that will give us that instantaneous reporting and the accuracy we needed. Well, after we did our demo, we were trying to find the right information. And a lot of times you had to compare 3 different sets of systems for information. And then you had to cross-reference them to see, okay, it's not in this, it's not in this, it's not in this. The conditional language wasn't accurate. Or you could do one if statement. And with MSPbots, you could do all sorts of statements setting conditions with the nesting groups and the ifs and the ors and all those things. So we can produce one dashboard that gives us all that information, and we can look at it and see what we want, versus having to go look at 3 and then go compare those 3. That immediately sold me on it. because my challenge was always trying to make BrightGauge do that, and it couldn't. And the design and the simplicity of building, it's so much easier. I can do things in MSPbots that I couldn't do in BrightGauge in days. So I was always reaching out to support saying, I'm trying to do this, I can't do it. And they'd go build it for me, but I wouldn't get the help I needed to teach me how to do it. And with a couple of remote sessions, I've been able to figure all that out. Probably the biggest comparisons were in agreements, profitability, looking through to see, are we including this? And we have some exceptions where for some clients, this is included, that's not included. Or we might have called it one thing here and not another in this one internally. So we had to compare and then know, in this case it was called this, but in this one it was called that. Like some clients preferred to be billed by a location, some we billed for the entire organization, and we just couldn't get all that information to pull inside of BrightGauge. But with MSPbots, we could really narrow it down quite easily.
So would you say then that it was something about time, like with MSPbots, you were able to do things faster, give the clients?
Definitely faster. I can basically, if I get a request from anyone in the company, I can have it built in no time. Where with BrightGauge, it was, let me see if I can do it. With MSPbots, it's, I know I can do it. Give me a little bit and I'll have it for you. So it's different results, I know I'll get results, and I can pull it up in a lot of different ways. You have, the pie charts, you have grids, you have all sorts of different presentation styles. We looked a little bit at what we did with BrightGauge, and then after a little while, we decided to start fresh because we had more options. So some of these things, colors, thresholds, we're able to define a value. We do what's called a customer survey score, CSAT, and we rate our customer satisfaction. And we rate if a customer is very satisfied with a unique color. So we can look at it quickly and see the customers are very satisfied with us. And then we're also able to weight the results, how many have taken the survey. And just by looking at the color, you don't have to sort through and see the score. You can just look by color and know, okay, we have very satisfied customers here. So we do that. We also do it for ticket distribution. What departments are getting the most email tickets in. So when requests come in from customers, what departments are taking the most, the majority of those tickets. So we can look at distribution and determine what departments maybe need additional staffing. And just that pie chart makes a difference, coloring, all that.
Okay, with what you said, like starting from scratch, were you the ones who actually built the dashboards, or did you use pre-built ones, or did you request for certain widgets in a dashboard?
When we moved, MSPbots built a few for us, used those to model. We have, I think, over 150 dashboards. I've built almost all of them. And we have over 1,100 widgets, and I've built almost all of those. So lots of hands-on. Great way to learn and do it. Gives you the confidence to know that you can do it. And you can build anything with it that way too. There were some growing pains. The biggest thing, and I've seen some great changes along the way too. Biggest thing I noticed in the beginning was when I'd add a dashboard, it always went to the bottom of the list. And so I had to learn to build my dashboard and put my ones I wanted at the bottom in last. So that way it would go in. But now one of the releases that came in through feedback, you can pick and choose where it goes, a quick, easy move. You've done a great job listening to feedback from your customers. Great improvements there. Makes it super easy to build and add. But other than that, I've just learned a little bit through trial and error for building, styling, designing. We've worked with support a little bit just to find the right type of design too. But overall, it's very easy to build. So we do a couple different ones. We have firm appointments. We have a meeting scheduled. You'll get a reminder 15 minutes ahead of time if it's a meeting that you cannot reschedule. So if we have a meeting with a customer at 9 o'clock, you'll get a reminder at 8:45. Reminder through Teams that tells you you have a firm appointment, so we aren't late. We use a bot for that. We use a bot to remind you that you had a ticket open in the morning, so you can go back in and make sure that you've either worked it or closed it. We do that in the afternoon as well. It helps us ensure that we're staying on top of our tickets. We use that. We use it for sales orders to let us know we have a couple of specific products that we do some special things with on agreements. So there's lots of different potential places where we use bots for alerts. We also do it for time that aren't on agreements for service tickets too. So it really helps us focus a lot of the things that management would have to go back in and correct or adjust. It takes care of for us. They love the scheduled appointment one. I don't know that they love that they missed a ticket. So if they're running behind, they like, yeah, I know. But it does help them keep track of that. And it's great for them that they are aware. If they forget to change the status on a ticket, even, it's a good reminder for them as well. And some people really like it, and some are like, okay, I did it again. And it's a hard habit to get out of sometimes or break, but it is a good reminder for them.
But it's basically like a reflection of like how you want to manage people as well, right? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, like if you get reminded, let's say you miss a ticket, it's actually based on like the performance of the tech, right? So could you say, like, has there been a significant improvement in terms of, let's say, your tech's following processes now because of the bots?
It's improved. We have some growth still, but it has improved. So,
all right.
There are some people that have fallen off that missed tickets list or missed schedule list because of this, for sure. So they are now taking care of those, where before they were on the list. And I think a lot of that is they didn't realize they had a ticket open still, but the reminder lets them know they still have one, or that they missed one and need to reschedule. So it has helped quite a few. It is.
Yeah.
It is. We have a triage board that everything comes into, and then it gets dispersed between the departments. So someone has to come in and decide which one of the 4 departments will work it when it comes in.
Okay.
But once it gets moved over to there, then we're considering having Next Ticket work through that. So once we've decided that belongs to our help desk or our desktop team, then we're looking at having the dispatching function of Next Ticket take care of it. We are automating some of our automated boards to tell us which ones are the priorities. So we aren't cherry picking the easy tickets and leaving the harder tickets. And that's been working really well. We've got a great SLA on our cybersecurity board because of Next Ticket. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I learned a while back, I would build something and it didn't look the way I wanted it to. And I learned that there were some differences on the way that MSPbots qualified time. If I used one language, it would look at what happened at midnight versus what happened during the day. And that's why it wasn't getting results. And so I just reached out and we started talking, and then discovered, one simple change fixed everything. And instead of just trying to figure it out and just saying, your platform's broken, All I had to do was find out the right information or look for it. And, just that little feedback during one of our calls made a big difference, and everything started to work and took off really well. The other thing I'd recommend is make sure you have the right permissions for your groups that you want accessing it. Build that as you set it up. And then tags. We use tags. We have some people, like I said, we have 150 dashboards, 1,100 widgets. That's a lot for some people to remember what they have. So we actually tag some of those by department or by user, by role. So when they're looking for their key things, they can go use that tag, and then they can find the things that relate to them. Very easy to do. Build that as you go. Don't try and come back in and reclassify everything. It's a long process to do that. So build it as you go. Plan out your MSPbots platform. Lay out how you want it to work. When we schedule reports, we actually tag it as a scheduled report. So if we need to go in and make an adjustment, we can find it very quickly and go edit that system as well. Oh, it's been outstanding. We've used quite a few of the apps that are in there. It used to take us quite a long time to go through and look at agreement, gross profit, and go through and do those reviews. My boss used to block off a day or more to do it. He had to go compile it and manage and go look through everything. He can go in there, he can go back and get any period of time he wants. Super simple process. We went through, just followed through how to do it. We've got notes on how to do these different things. We're using a client portal. Great functions in here, how these things work, what they do. As we've grown, we've added more integrations in. If it has SQL connections or MySQL, you can add that. Don't be afraid to go and take a look. Don't assume that you can only use the items that are listed in there, and you're adding more integrations all the time. Take a look and see what's there and add or ask. I think everything I've asked for has been implemented or is going to be implemented. That's my advice. You guys have a great team.